And joining us now from Miami with some perspective is defense attorney Roy Black. Among his clients in the past, William Kennedy Smith and Rush Limbaugh. Roy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ross.
From a legal standpoint, what arguments can Gary Giordano's team make in this case?
Well, it's just purely circumstantial evidence at this time. And I say purely, there obviously are some interesting facts leading up to the disappearance of this young woman. But the problem is, without a body, it is very hard to make a case like this, because how do you prove it's not accidental? So while he has acted very strangely and there's some unusual circumstances, this is certainly not a slam dunk case.
As you say, it would be hard to pursue this case if no body is found, but authorities in Aruba could still charge him, correct?
Oh, yes, they could, because there's a number of interesting facts. The insurance policy, there's some blood on the beach. They may have had an argument. There's all kinds of his background of domestic violence, that kind of thing. But part of the problem here is there are two different theories. Are they saying that he premeditated this and got the insurance policy and intended to kill her? Or did they have an argument because he got jealous and at the last minute ended up killing her? The two of those are inconsistent.
Help us out here. How long can authorities keep him in custody?
Well, they can keep him another 60 days, and then they can extend it thereafter for another 4 months. But let's face it, if they haven't gotten any evidence up until now, they're not going to get much more unless they come across the body. I'm thinking what they're doing is they're going to keep him in jail until they thoroughly search the area, hoping they'll find something, her body or some type of physical evidence like that.
And what you mentioned this just a moment ago, but when prosecutors are going through this right now, what exactly are they looking for in terms of moving this case forward?
Well, remember, there's a time period here between 4 o'clock and 6 p.m. in which, the last time she's seen on video until he reports her disappeared, they're going to try to find anybody who saw anything within those 2 hours, because that's the critical time period. And, other than that, I think they've gathered all they probably can.
If Giordano is released and returns to the U.S., is there any way he could be tried here in the U.S.?
Well, I don't think he can be tried here in the U.S. for her murder. If he bought the insurance policy here, then, of course, they can use that to claim some type of, travel to commit murder or a crime like that, but they can't charge him with murder here. However, if he's charged with murder in Aruba, if he's here, the United States will extradite him back to the island.
If Gary Giordano was your client, what would you advise him to do?
I'd advise him to stay where he is, although he doesn't have much of a choice, not to say a word, not to make any further statements, because what they're looking for are inconsistencies between his statement and the facts that they can dig up, and the videotape and all those kinds of things. So everything that he says could be a problem for him.
Roy Black in Miami, as always, we appreciate your insight. You take care.
Thank you for inviting me.